I want to just share what we do so that you have an idea of what happens at the moment and how everyone can get engaged and actually help us deal with this better. Those are the kind of topics we're going to cover. And doing advocacy is basically where a postmaster gets a letter, a message to say something's not right. Many a times we try to deal with that ourselves, and that's fantastic. But what you have is this support from the NFSP, who understands the corporate language, the contracts, and then can hold your hand through what you're going through and be with you through that journey. And some of the key things that we've measured over the last few years is that there are these emerging trends, something that's common when we're dealing with these cases. So we can talk about the past, we can talk about the future, but I'd like to kind of focus on now just for the time being. Okay, now we go next. So one of the key things, one of the things that we found is that many a times postmasters will only engage with us once they're in serious trouble. They haven't got anywhere, they haven't got any resolution, they can't get the satisfactory resolution from the post office, and that's when you contact us. And sometimes it's to the point where they've been suspended. So you'll get a call, I've been suspended, what do I do? And what we'd like to do is to actually reach out and get you to reach out to members and just say that please, when you get some key indicators about your branch, contact us. We can help you, we can make you understand what's happening, and hopefully you won't even get to that stage. So it's trying to help you before it gets to that stage where you could possibly lose your contract. The other thing that's been happening recently is rogue engineers. Now, one of the key things that everyone should do is if you get somebody coming in pretending to be from the business, from one of our suppliers, you should ring Grapevine. It's just given, you have to. Because even if you know me, and I've been to your branch today, and I come again tomorrow, between now and tomorrow, I could have lost my job. You don't know. So when you get anyone, even from the Federation, we all have a clearance. You get a visit from the mail segregation team, they have a clearance. Anyone who comes to repair your keypads, pin pads, they have clearance. And everyone knows that they have to wait until you get the clearance. Now they're confidence tricksters. So what they do is they'll gain your confidence. They'll come in the branch 2 or 3 times, build a relationship, and use that to access your horizon. So please be very careful. Do not do that. Don't allow that.
Another one of the emerging concerns that we have are the sharing of smart IDs. Now, smart IDs are there for your protection and for the protection of your staff. And whenever these are shared in the office, if something happens within that office, there's nothing to protect you, because you will be the one that gets the blame if there's a discrepancy or if there's an issue that's happened. And even going back to what Nilesh was talking about there with the rogue engineers, on occasion, the postmaster has shared their ID because theirs was locked. So honestly, don't be sharing your smart IDs. Make sure every staff member has done their P250 and that they have their own smart IDs. We've been in offices where smart IDs have been on the wall just to copy down, and it just is so unsafe and such a concern.
Yeah. The other key indicator is when you get notifications for excess cash. Now, many a times we just look at what's in the branch. We're busy banking branches, we get lots of cash coming in, a lot of cash goes out. But if you get these messages then please look beyond what you see in your branch. You do need to investigate that, because post office monitor your cash for the total branch. If you've got individual stock units, if you have a separate stock unit for the whole branch, that's the back safe, you have to make sure that you actually do a full audit in that branch. Count everything yourself. Don't rely on the staff. This is your investment, this is your branch, and if it gets to that point where you have to be answerable for that loss, you've got enough time to actually deal with it before it gets to that stage. It's really important that those are the two key things that you must check. The other thing that we're coming across quite a lot is staff being employed without P250 or without contracts. Now, more and more people, I've been told today, talking to Angela, are actually signing up for the paid HR support. But there are so many branches that come to us, and I'm going to share some stats with you. If you think that is not a problem, that is not an issue, it's actually quite scary. The thing with the employment law is that if you don't have a contract, then the tribunal will always take the side of the employee. And that is really important to understand. So have a contract in place. If you need help, we have a relationship with HR for UK, they will help you. Even the existing staff, they'll help you with that. And if you're paid for service, then they actually, there's a lot more that they can do for you. So please just get that message out. So when you go back and you have your regional meetings, branch meetings, whatever you have, please share that message, that get this in order, please.
Just remember, Branch Hub is your best friend. With the Branch Hub, it's the most important tool. It will show you where your cash declarations are sitting. It will show you your OEI, which is always a positive for you. All communications will be coming out by Branch Hub now, including new opportunities, new meals opportunities, possibly tablets once the rollout restarts. And so if you don't check it, you possibly will lose out on something that will really help your business. So do keep an eye on it. As I say, the back office in particular, if you're maybe an absentee postmaster and you're not in the branch every day, that will help you see how your branch sits. And the information on that is more or less live on that day. So do keep a check on it.
Yeah. Does everyone here have, do you access Branch Hub regularly? Okay. Going forward, that is your only main channel of communication with the post office. It's, I think the terminology is preferred choice of communication. Yeah, it's the only choice. So I would say please do that. Don't just check your remuneration, check everything else. Everything that impacts your OEI, you'll see the running total of any unders and overs. So that is a key indicator, especially if you manage your branch remotely. If somebody's running 5 branches, you can't be in every one of those, but you can actually keep an eye on that. It's a fantastic tool. Imagine having that. If you had to pay for that tool for your retail, it helps you, it gives you key MI to run your branch much better. And all we say is just use it. So one of the things we've done is, they say, well, what do you do? Can you give us an indication of, what do you pick up? So what I've done is I've kind of picked out top 6 or 7 things that are raising their ugly head. And from that, which I showed you before, but one of the things that I want to share with you is the number of calls that we get and the type of issues that members raise with us, okay, which is, so since January this year, we have picked up almost 1,000 tickets. This is where members contact us directly or through our regional offices from you. So when you get your weekly log reminders on every Friday morning, and you fill that in and you send the information to us, we actually get this. And we use this information to drive positive behavior, try to contact the post office, and actually raise emerging issues with them. And if you look at that, the second most tickets that we raise is for the staff issues. Now, you wouldn't think that. When we're normally in a conversation like this with the post office, in our NFSP conference, we talk about everything else, but rather than what's impacting our branches directly. And if you look at the very last line, just in the last 3 months, look at the number of people who need that advocacy support. So it's really important that you understand the work that the NFSP does that does not shout out about. But this time I said, I want to talk about this. I want to make sure that the support that you give in the network and what the NFSP gives to its members, it's so invaluable. And it's one of those things that if it's gone, imagine how much it's going to cost you to put something like this in place. It's really important that you sometimes have to forget the politics and think about your business. Think about what the NFSP does and engage. That's what we need. So from these weekly updates, I did say to all the regional offices, I'm going to share this because some regions are fantastic and some regions may need a little bit of encouragement. So when you get those reminders on a weekly basis and you send that to me, this is the picture I get. But what I would like from you is quality data. Because if you look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the regions, their top number one thing is nothing to report. That just surely can't be true. There are things happening in your region. There are things that are raised on your WhatsApp messages. And the key thing here is we cannot monitor WhatsApp messages. The first, we have the official WhatsApp groups. Then we have unofficial WhatsApp groups. There are local groups. And there's no way we'll pick that up. But sometimes people will post a message on these, and they think they've raised it with the NFSP. Just spread the message out there. If you need support, if you need help, please call head office, or it can come through you. That's okay, as long as we get this information from you. Yeah. There's one thing that's raising its ugly head, and I want to make a specific mention of these. There are companies out there that lend you money, no questions asked, no equity. Basically, they just lend you money based on your merchant sales turnover. It is the most dangerous way to borrow money. And last 3 cases, last 3 cases, they had debts they just could not fulfill. And if you think about the APR, it's above 200%. So if there is any way you can borrow that money some other way, through the bank, officially, with a set interest, there's no savings either. If you pay that off, no savings. And what they'll normally say to you is that if you borrow £1,000, pay 1,100 in 3 weeks' time, and everything's fine. And you think, well, that's only £100 for 3 weeks. But just think about the APR. Is the most expensive way to borrow money. But honestly, these people go into a spiral. If they take 20% of yourselves, you've got no profit to go and buy any more products. You can't actually live on that. That's it. So I just wanted to share that bit. And it's about the engagement. What we want is to actually understand. If you think about, what does the NFSP bring? It gives you that support 24/7. A colleague of mine was up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking to a postmaster because she was going through some serious issue in her branch. And the very next day, that colleague of mine got a solution for that postmaster. That's what the NFSP brings. And once again, if you put a value to that, how much does it cost if the NFSP isn't there? What will you do? I mean, today we were talking to somebody where a customer came in, they tripped, and then 3 weeks later, they lodged a claim against the business. Now, they don't have a shop insurance. They don't have a business insurance. Those kind of situations, unfortunately, NFSP cannot help. You need to have the right insurances in place.
So just on that one, the expertise and the support that you have within the NFSP, whether it's branch level, regional level, you've got your NEDs and you've got the advocacy team. And that is here for you 24/7, as Nilesh says. And it's really, really important that you reach out to us if you have got an issue. And it's also really important that you do watch your WhatsApps, make sure your members are okay, and if they have an issue, pick it up. And if you need any support, that's what we are here for.
One of the things we've understood is the removal of the area manager support. So that means your colleagues are even more reliant on you. They should be able to reach out to you for that human contact straight away, and you'll be able to support them based, you can help and guide them with the experience and the expertise that you have. And anytime you need additional support, please reach out to head office and we'll give that to you.
I mean, look at the experience in this room. When you look around, the numbers of people that have so much experience that can help other members, and that's what we're all about.
So something I want to just share with you, we talk about, and the only reason I added this to the slide is because there was a conversation about meetings. You hold a meeting, people don't turn up, you try to hold a meeting, and you can't marry up the dates. But I'll give you an example of 2 meetings over the last 3 weeks, 2 regions. I'm not going to embarrass anyone, but I'm going to say that they actually said, let's do this. And the plan was very simple. Give us a venue and give us a date. That's all we need from you, a venue and a date. And within 2 weeks, a meeting was planned, agenda was set, invites were sent out, and honestly, at one of the meetings, in the stakes, we had 22 members who attended. And it was just brilliant to see. Such a structured meeting, positive meeting. And my idea is that when people come to a meeting, they should always leave at least with one little gem that they know it was worth coming to this meeting. And really, this is where we need you. Reach out to us, give us a venue, give us a date, and we'll help you plan a meeting. And if you don't, all that we do, all these members get for free, that's not going to exist. And if it does, it's not going to be as easy as this. It's going to cost people. And this is a testimonial from one of the meetings. Somebody actually took the time to actually write this down and send it in, because that's how they felt about the meeting. And all I can say is, I'd like this energy in all the regions. So on that note, I think that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.